don't underestimate the hole your absence would leave. You know, each of us, we're remarkable creatures, and we have something to offer to the world, to the people we love, to the world at large. It's our responsibility to make that manifest, and we move a little farther away from paradise every time that doesn't happen. Really, really.
And I am telling you unequivocally 100%, okay? None of us are looking for modern women. None of us, one of the things I tell every man is, if you are a modern woman, if you don't have traditional values, dating relationship, avoid them. Do not have sex with them. Do not talk with them. Do not argue with them. No relationships. Single, independent. Don't need a man. Do not talk to her. Goddess, queen, boss chick. Do not talk to her. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. She is in the process of receiving a whole bunch of karma. And if you deal with her, you will be in the blast radius of the stupidity she has lined up for herself. And it will fuck up the things you are building in your life. It will destabilize your stability and your security. You cannot deal with them. They give you three things: a baby you don't want, a venereal disease, or a case. And a case could be them sending the police after you, or a case could be them calling their cousins and Pookie and Ray Ray and them to beat you up, or trying to hustle you or involve you in some stupid shit. You can't deal with them. You can't deal with them.
I also ask, do you have any care to empower women, or is disempowering women part of your, steez?
To see this as shame, insult, guilt, need to be right, okay. Why is it empowering to sleep around?
No,
Why
what I'm saying is, I feel like you do, take, the way you speak on women is very sort of women just don't want to do this. Women just don't have this. Women just want to this.
Maybe I should
and I wonder why you have so much hatred towards women.
I don't hate women.
Where does that root in? It sounds like
women.
you do.
I am a woman.
Let's talk about the people that don't make an effort to be in your life, but still try to show up every once in a while through social media or message you here and there to let you know I'm still here. Those people are orbiting. Instead of questioning, why are they doing this? Why are they showing up every once in a while? Is this a sign? No, this is not a sign. This is their way of saying, I still want to be here, but I don't want to make this a big priority, so I'm going to come every once in a while, message you and say something, and then I'm going to leave again. You don't need to call them out. You don't need to tell them what they're doing or try to make them understand that this is wrong. All you need to do is stop letting it affect you, stop entertaining it, and move on. Honestly, if it's someone that's truly affecting you when they're doing it, then take them off of social media or have it so that they can't view your stories, because you don't need that.
Women get comparatively weaker physically, so the world's more dangerous. Okay, then they're more vulnerable sexually. Right? Then they have to take care of infants. So they're tilted towards more threat detection. It makes them maybe suboptimally happy when you think about them as individuals.
Because they're always aware of all of these threats. So it's harder for them to switch off, whereas when I walk down the street, I'm not worried in the same way.
Of course.
The problem with modern dating is modern human beings. The modern human being is a fragmented human being. It's a human being that is living in the energy of fear. A human being that is living life externally, which means that they're living life from the outside in. It's a human being that needs outside of them, whether it's alcohol or sex or a partner or validation or power or success or followers. They need outside of them to fulfill what's inside of them. We didn't used to be like this. Before there was buildings, before there was any of this stuff, before there were even clothes, human beings were all in love because we didn't judge each other. We didn't look at each other because of our skin. We didn't look at each other or judge, for example, women because of how they looked. We didn't know any of that. All of that we've been taught. And the further and further along in time we get, the worse and worse it gets.
The reason why marriages today are in trouble is because people think it's the end goal instead of the starting point.
Rewind!
You think you won the race when no, that is just registration table. You know what I'm saying? There is a marathon to continue, and when we celebrate, we celebrate the wedding and the pictures, and we do all this hype, and then after you do that big payoff, now it's what's next. A lot of us spent more time planning the wedding what the colors was gonna be, who our bridesmaid and groomsmen, but we didn't go to therapy before. We didn't actually map out a plan. We said those traditional vows that wasn't even specific to us. We didn't even make a covenant with each other. We didn't make a contract. We didn't have the emergency procedures. So my point is, I want everybody to think about that. Marriage is not the end goal, it's the starting point. The end goal is not me marrying you. The end goal is me dying married to you.
Women our age are more likely to be in relationships than men, which makes you think, who is everybody dating at the end of the day? If the women aren't dating the men, then...
What crosses my mind is I think there's perhaps two explanations. One, women in that age group are dating older men, 30 to 40. But I think the bigger thing is that women are maybe think they're in a relationship or are in a relationship and they're sharing higher quality guys. So... and there's this concept called hypergamy. Women are all chasing after the top tier of men. So a lot of women are happier sharing a top tier guy than settling for a guy that's actually on their level.
Here y'all go, yet another misogynistic comment. I said it's wrong for trans women to be putting on stereotypes of what they think a woman is. Making your voice higher pitched to sound like a cis woman, that is not being a woman, that is misogynistic. You are mocking somebody's voice. That's not cute. That's rude, actually. Women use their punanis. They use it to use the bathroom. They use it to have intercourse, use it to have children. And you are going to the doctors to surgically get this. To get the fetish, you want the look of what's down there. That is a fetish. You are fetishizing someone's punani. Like, wearing clothes so you can look like a woman is misogynistic. There is no way to look like a woman. Women generally have features that you can look at them and see, but all women look different. This saying this is basically saying masculine-looking women don't look like women. This nonsense contributes to women of color who have bigger noses, maybe wider jaws, maybe women with smaller hips. This doesn't even include them, talking about looking like women. And then you're gonna say that because I said it's misogynistic to put on stereotypes of what a woman is? Apparently, my hairstyle is a stereotype of what a woman is. This is locks. This is African American and African culture. Apparently, my cultural hairstyles are the stereotypes of women. My hair is long. Apparently, men don't have long hair. Apparently, it's a stereotype that women have long hair. And men aren't allowed to have long hair. Apparently, if a man has a long hair, he's a woman now. Okay, let's see. I don't know what clothing they're talking about. I'm wearing a tank top and a jacket. Apparently, men don't wear tank tops and jackets. This is the stereotype of woman. Only women wear tank tops and jackets. What else? Apparently, my natural voice is a stereotype of a woman. And also... men can't have high-pitched voices. Do you see this misogynistic, hateful rhetoric? This also harms men as well. I can't stand TRAs. Disgusting. Who thinks of this? Y'all are fetishizers, and it's not okay. Get help. Get help. And apparently, I'm a man, since I'm not wearing makeup right now. Apparently, I just magically turned into a man. Since I'm not wearing anything on my face except a lip balm. I'm a man now, apparently.
Another edition of liberals who don't know why they're mad. I was seeing this girl who told me she does not believe in traditional gender roles. She told me it's wrong to assume that a woman's natural role is cooking and cleaning. Funny thing about that, she is phenomenal at cooking and cleaning. When I clean something, she says, "You call that clean? That's not clean." When I cook something, she's like, "Did you fucking season this? That's not seasoned right." She claims she's independent and doesn't need a man for anything. But she doesn't know how to check her oil. I have to check her oil. I have to kill the spiders in the house. If something's over 40 pounds and it needs to be moved, she makes me move it. She can't change a fucking broken tire, I have to change the tire. She says she likes to make her own decisions when it's not time to make a decision. When it's time to make a decision, she makes me decide something for her. I would let her decide what restaurant we're gonna eat at, but then we'd never end up eating. She says masculinity is toxic, but she says the reason she likes me is because I'm not as feminine as the other guys that come on to her. She says men are just as strong as women, but she can't bench press as much as me, or do a single push-up, not even on her knees like those little girl push-ups. She says she doesn't need a man to protect her, but if somebody gives her a hard time in public when we're together, she expects me to fight them. She told me I'm not leading the relationship. She says we're equal partners that share equal responsibilities. So I made her pay for dinner. She was mad. I made her pay the UI bill. She was really mad. Even though she doesn't believe in traditional roles in a relationship, it almost seems as if she's happiest when she acts like a traditional woman, and I act like a traditional man. So I expressed that to her, and she called me a misogynist.
Here's my problem, right? Women value tradition when it's in their benefit. So they value tradition when it comes to a man having to propose to them, but they won't value a traditional man when he says, hey, you gotta sit in the house and cook and clean. So like you can't pick and choose the parts of the tradition that you're going to stick by and stand by. If you're gonna be open-minded, you have to be open-minded to all.
That's why I never talk shit about average men. But I'm also tell men, you know what? Just know what the market is. You get men out here who are average, hard-working, salt-of-the-earth men, and they get shit on just because they ain't driving a BMW. That's crazy. But then you also look across cultures, and it's Hispanic women marry average men. He'll work first shift, she'll work third shift. And it seems to be really pronounced in our community where women over a certain age, over 40, they ain't settling for, they don't want anything other than what they want. They want a man of a certain economic caliber, a certain social caliber, certain education, everything else. And that's why I'm like, what are y'all mad about? Because we're talking about it? And what they're mad about is the reality.
I'm this hot. This hot. Insane.
Just take note, I'm not trying to bully you or degrade you in any way. I'm just going to run some numbers for you. Currently, the population of the United States stands as thus. Now, when you take into account that there's 49% male, 51% female, you're already starting off with a disparity of 161,455,000 men to 168,045,000 women. And now you have to account for 7% of the population, which are members of the LGBT. Now the disparity slightly closes in, making it 150,153,150 men to 156,281,850 women. Now the math gets really fun because according to dating app information, 80% of women only go after 20% of men. Assuming you're in that 80%, that would mean that you're ignoring 120,122,520 men. They are invisible to you. Only 30,030,630 men you'll actually pay attention to. And you are competing against 125,025,479 other women. To make matters a little bit worse, I did check out your profile, and I saw that you're a dancer and you're an Instagram model, so you probably make roughly 6 figures a year, which puts you in the 1 percentile for potential earnings. Which means 99% of every man in that 30 million we're looking at is now going to have to go bye-bye. Which puts you as one of 125,025,480 women competing for just, drumroll please, 300,306 men. Now, if my math is right, that puts you at 0.0024% of getting a husband you'll actually be happy with. Again, this TikTok isn't trying to degrade you or insult you or even make you upset.
The problem with stuff like this is that when you're a feminine woman, you don't have to worry about a door being opened up for you or anything being fixed for you or a man paying your bills. But the problem is this era lacks feminine women. We have an era of women who seek to be equal with the men in their dating pool and lead with what they earn instead of what they can do as a wife or a caregiver.
Is it fair that a man's value increases with the amount of bodies he has and a woman's decreases? Is that fair?
You guys act like your dicks are elephant trunks. Like you're just big ass. Yeah. If I your just wide open.
The question had nothing to do with a woman's elasticity. The question was about value. Yes, the value does go down. Now, I will say this. I'm not letting men off the hook either. Just because you sleep with 100 women as a guy does not mean your value is up. Because I know guys who have no car, no job, and just trap for a living, sleep with a lot of women. Does not mean their value is high. But without a fact, a woman that gives herself to a bunch of men, value for sure goes down. Ladies won't like this, but it's just a harsh reality.